Hola, buenos días. Soy Nico.
Now, stop it. You are a liar and second an alcoholic. Stop it. Stop. Okay? You are an alcoholic. Yes, that's right. God. That's right. I've said it now and everybody knows. So get the hell get the
And today we're here to finish off another wonderful week's worth of content. Well, yes. But before we get started, if you like this kind of content, make sure to follow me at patreon.com. I can't see. I don't have my glasses on, so I can't see. So I'm trying to make sure like my thought doesn't fall out. If you like this kind of content, follow me at patreon.com/Nicosaesthetics for over 200 exclusive videos. Nico, I checked. Over 200 exclusive videos specifically on Patreon. If that sounds interesting to you, different tiers. We have weekly live streams with a multifaceted panel with various topics depending on the week. If that sounds interesting to you, definitely check it out. This week's Patreon exclusive is over Flacco508 being confronted by a man he had gone on a few dates with online, saying that he fell in love with him, that he was so deeply in love with him, but he continuously went after other men. And then Flacco came online and cleared that up real quick. So if that sounds interesting to you, along with the 200 plus videos, make sure to go check it out. Now, last video's comment was actually people saying condolences for me losing my sister, which I appreciate one more time. I'm actually recording this video right before I head to the airport. Everything's packed, everything's clean. I just wanted to make sure this video comes out in an orderly time. So now that we've gotten that out of the way, let's get started on the actual topic. Big confusion. Nico, big confusion. I do think it's a key that I'm essentially the gay blog on YouTube. And I hit the blogs yesterday. Nico, what do you mean? So if you did not know, I got into it with Xaddy Corvinus over a misunderstanding that was not... It was slightly shady, but it wasn't intentionally shady. I'm going to start from the beginning. So, as you know, I come on YouTube and I talk about how it is okay for gay men to have sexual fluidity. Nico, what do you mean? It's okay to be first, girl. I'm not one of those people that comes online and be like, you got to be a total type, you got to be a total bottom. It is okay to explore your sexuality. That's what I tell you every time. And I always come online when one of the quote unquote big zaddy dom tops gets topped by somebody. I always tell you, first and foremost, they're gay. Whoop-de-doo. Secondly, so what if they bottom? I know it's a controversial take to say that we shouldn't really care what other people do with their bodies, but I understand that some people retort with, oh no, we're losing our men. Bring back our men. Bring back our real tops. Why does everybody... Because you want to take the heteronormative role of the woman as the bottom. So seeing your fantasy top get topped is putting them in the playing field of bottom/woman, making them competition. I understand the mental gymnastics y'all go to, but personally, I don't care that much. When it comes to Big Dog Ant, he's a very popular performer in Atlanta, and he has recently flipped with Xaddy Corvinus. To my knowledge, he had been creeping and tiptoeing to this point, seeing as how he's recently been doing videos where he's getting eaten up like a snack, eaten up like a crab cake. Nico, he's been getting eaten. So the only logical progression would be total top that gets eaten becomes verse top that still gets eaten. So when the video dropped, I wasn't necessarily surprised, but as per usual, the gays came online and they were upset. The final top has fallen. The second tower has been... Nico, I understand. I'm American. I can make that joke. I know. Point is, they were upset. So I came online and I said, Big Dog Ant bottomed. Why are y'all gagging? He is a gay man that lives in Atlanta. Of course he's getting topped. What are you talking about? So that in its entirety was the catalyst for this. Nico, what do you mean? I'm not gonna pretend. I'm not gonna pretend and be like one of those bitches that throws a rock and hide their hands. So when somebody commented who topped him, I said, can I say that on YouTube? I'm gonna mute it and just put the word right here because YouTube, I don't know if they still censor that word. Point is, I called Xaddy Corvinus. And apparently it got back to him because people watch my page like a hawk. I always forget my reach when I've been in a Fantano video. I've been in an Olay video. I apparently have a lot more reach than I think. So people sent that to him. So he decided to quote it, misinterpreting the entire message because of the small amount of shade in the comments, and said, oh yeah, well, nobody gagged when you collaborated with Raheem and Fat Rabbit Killer, and now you're just a failed wannabe adult performer that makes YouTube videos on his floor. First and foremost, I'm in a chair. I have a sofa that I sit on while I'm doing my videos, but also I had to quote him saying, I wasn't a flop wannabe performer when you slid in my DMs and tried to collaborate with me twice and got left on red both times, and I ratioed him. Nico and I ratioed him. So I'm assuming this is his burner because this is the only thing that this page has done, which was call me trash and then slide in the comments and say, oh, well, it's different. Two things can be true at once. You know, you are attractive, but in 2023, you weren't as much of a loser as you are now. So I said, oh, thank you for the long time viewership. I hope you continue to watch, or something along those lines. And I ratioed him. I ratioed him bad. So he blocked me before I could comment. I'm like, girl, it ain't never that. As y'all know, I always cover receipts. I'm very to the point, and I can be very calculated with my reads. I've taken speech and debate from high school to college, so I'm very slick with my tongue. I get that from my father. It's something that I actively try not to do. But in short, I ratioed him badly, and other T-blogs began to comment on it and screenshot, and some are giving half of the information. So I'm just sitting here there's a lot more to the story. So the reason I called him is because in the past, I've covered his stories before, and he has actively called me ugly, broke, jealous, the typical thing Atlanta performers do. So when it comes to YouTube, this is my job. I come on here and I'm as professional as possible. Sometimes you will get me out of character if you come at me crazy, but I try to respect people and their names. I actually mispronounce his name all the time just because Corvinus or Corvinus, I don't know how you pronounce it. Point is, it's hard to say for me personally. So when it comes to my job, I will be professional. But when it's on Twitter, girl, I don't have to respect you. Nico, no, I don't understand why so many people come at me left ways, come at me at the side of my neck, and then expect me to be like, hi, how you doing, guys? How are you, my good fellows? No, girl, you can get it too. So yes, I call him out his name. I didn't even say anything crazy. It was kind of a key because it does look and sound like it, but I didn't say anything crazy. So the fact that that one comment caused all of this, and yes, I will take blame for that. I don't care. I will say whatever I want to say. You're not going to call me ugly, botched, a flop, but then you've tried to, smash on me multiple times and think I'm just going to be like, oh, hi, how are you doing? I love your work. Girl, no. I will always give people their credit. Xaddy Corvinus zicks people down. Nico, what do you mean? That man has some disrespectful pipe at that. But even if I like someone's content, that doesn't mean I have to want to, be intimate with them, because what I like to see you do to those bottoms, I don't want that done to me. Nico, what do you mean? I just had this conversation in one of my quote tweets. People were saying, oh yeah, you don't need to be bottoming no more anyway. And I'm like, there's a difference between boyfriend and brain rot. Nico, what do you mean? Boyfriend, 7 inches. Prolong eye contact. Slow stroking. Pick up the pace once you're open. It's that simple. 10-inch plus slamming into you, ripping, fissures, tearing. Girl, that's not appeasing to me. It's not. So it's not the fact that, oh, I don't like Xaddy Corvinus's work, because I have maybe 3 scenes from him that I personally enjoy. I'm saying 3 just because those are the 3 that I came across, not that I've subscribed to him and seen his catalog. Maybe he has more. Point is, I have 3 scenes where I'm like, oh no, he did amazing. That was some good work. I don't want that done to me. So the fact that you are acting like I'm a flop when you have personally tried to work with me multiple times, I don't get it, but we go through this all the time. Because somebody so eloquently put, is it every time somebody talks to you crazy, they've been in your DMs? Yes, I even saw on the T-blogs, when they were posting the stories, people were saying, mind you, no one asked about comparing our work. Some dude slid in the comments and said, yeah, Nico is so boring compared to Xaddy. Nico is so da-da-da-da-da. He needs to retire. Meanwhile, this same man has been in my DM saying, hey, sexy, I'd love to meet you. I'd love to take you out. Personally, I was not interested. I'm not. When it comes to men, I don't like bald men. Nico, I'm sorry. That's just a personal preference because my father is bald. So I'm like, I can't do that. There's like a mental connect because my mom also likes bald men. I just can't do bald men. Not because of like some bias, just because my father is bald. So if you are a dark-skinned bald man, girl, you're out. I'm sorry. I just can't. It's too close to my dad. But outside of that, it's the principle of, so you're actively disrespecting me, attacking me publicly when that wasn't even what was asked in this situation. But you're in my DMs trying to holler at me, be like, oh, da, 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 da. But that's what I go through a lot. And people don't understand it. And I used to think people were so vapid when they would say, you're literally upset with me because I don't want to have intimate moments with you. I don't want to have super happy adult fun time with you. And I used to think, oh, that's just such a dismissive way to just evade the conversation and da-da-da. But no, some men are really like that. I've started to realize as I've gotten older, especially while I've been in the industry, a lot of men will not like you if you do not give them sexual access to you. That's why we see so many times these people for my channel, for example, I cover so many performers that get into it and fight and da-da-da-da-da, whether it be virtual, yelling online, fist fights, cops being called. And then the next week you see them working with them again. The next week you see them in the club popping bottles together again. I'm just sitting here like, I don't understand the mindset of we gonna beef, we gonna fight, we gonna da-da-da-da-da, but I still need that. Like, girl, if you don't get up out my face, I don't play that. I don't play that at all. So point is, this has been a big misunderstanding because one slightly shady comment in the comments, not even in the original tweet. So when he quote tweeted me, people were like, girl, what are you even mad about? Like, what is going on? That is what sparked this. But once again, it's because I do not have to respect you if you have consistently disrespected me. I don't, because normally when I come on these videos, I don't call people out their name. I'm usually very respectful unless you've committed a crime. So, girl, if you're gonna call me out my name, I don't have to respect you at all, whatsoever. I don't care who you are. And that's another thing I feel like a lot of people in the industry are upset about, because when I've come in the industry, I've worked with big names, be it big US names, be it big Brazilian names. Heck, I've even worked with like people from Colombia, Spain, da-da-da-da-da. Like, I've worked with big names, but I feel like a lot of people, when they enter the industry, they have to hit that circuit where they work with every big performer to get a stamp of approval. Personally, the only people I've worked with in the US big stamp circle was Raheem and Fat Rabbit Killer. And that's just because I know them. Especially Fat Rabbit Killer, I've hung out with him multiple times, like when we're on trips. So I'm like, I'm comfortable enough with you to have a super happy adult fun time moment with you. I'm not one of those people that's, oh, I'm gonna have to work with so-and-so and so-and-so and so-and-so. Girl, if I don't want to have super happy adult fun time with you, I'm just not gonna do it. Whether it be I'm not attracted to you, or if you don't do the kind of content I enjoy, I'm not gonna do it. For example, I've talked about it before, Yardie Style has asked to work with me. I've met Yardie Style multiple times. He's very sweet. He's actually very charming. Like, he's very like, kiss you on the hand, give me a kiss, da-da-da-da-da, flirty. But his topping is not pleasing to me, and I don't like bottoming enough to put myself through that. Or for example, Xaddy Corvinus, he's asked to work with me multiple times as well. Attractive man, I like some of his videos. I don't want to get like destroyed like that, if I'm being quite honest. So I think people should be able to understand, yes, we work in the same industry, yes, we can like respect each other's crafts, but girl, I don't want to work with you. It's that simple. I've had some big names, like even like let me stop going through names. I listed enough of the people that you already know about. Point is, boundaries are okay, but also I do not have to respect you outside of my work if you don't give me respect. I don't know why that's so hard to understand, but that is the story. That is the tea. And girl, she was so mad that I read her that she deleted the tweet and then started adding grok to repeat what he had already said. So I'm like, I gagged you. I gagged you bad. Yeah. But with that, I have to go to the airport, girl. It's 14 minutes. I gotta go. But that's the tea. I'll see you guys next time. And boop.